hands and feet a sign that your body is burning out? Well, if you are having cold hands and feet, or maybe some other things where you think I'm actually burning out, you're going to want to listen a little bit further into this live. I'm Ollie Matthews, a healer that works as a health and wellness coach for high achieving entrepreneurs to take them from the brink of burnout to true peak performance. Now, I use functional medicine techniques, nutrition therapy, and movement along with mindset work to make sure we are truly reaching that peak performance that we felt overwhelmed to actually get to. And I truly take people from the brink of burnout, as I say, to that peak performance. But how do you actually know that you're burning out? Well, one sign that came up yesterday, I was recording a podcast, a really great podcast, which will be out on Monday with Sasha Lipskaya. And we were talking about burnout, and we were talking about some of the signs. I have a questionnaire that I give to clients if they come to me and they say, look, I think I'm burning out and I need your help. Great, do this questionnaire and I'll tell you if I can help you. And then I'll point you in the right direction to say one-to-one coaching, or maybe one of my courses, or just look at this video and you will soon be able to help yourself when it comes to burning out. But one of those signs that came up was cold hands and feet. And if you've got cold hands and feet, we then look at other signs as a symptom as well, that you're getting brain fog, that you've got poor hair health, that you've got poor nail health, that you've probably got bad skin as well. Because one of the things that is happening with cold hands and feet is that blood is not able to get to those extremities of the body. Now, hands and feet, they're at the end of your body. They've got gravity helping them. Your brain hasn't, and it's at the other extreme of your body. Therefore, if we're struggling to get oxygenated, nutrient-rich blood to our hands and feet, we are then going to be struggling to get it to our brain as well. Now, there are other signs that you're burning out. Signs that are easy just to push to the side. Easy to say, hey, I will deal with it later. But the universe usually tells us that we have to deal with this now, one way or another. If we get super sick, we lose a lot of money, we stop moving towards our goals, we lose a relationship, we lose a business, or we just get this kind of awakening moment that we need to do something about it. But some of these signs, along with the poor nail health, along with brain fog, along with poor hair health, along with poor skin, then we get random bloatedness. Maybe you have problems with your sleep. Maybe you're waking up during the night. Maybe you are wired but tired. You literally lay your head down on the pillow and you cannot get to sleep because you were tired. Now you're wired, and it's like your body doesn't want to get to sleep. You've got that amazing idea and you have to action it. Then you get energy dips throughout the day, or you constantly forget random things. One of the big things I see with people, especially if they have cold hands and feet, is they have memory problems. They'll walk into a room and think, why did I walk into this room? Why did I actually come in here? Maybe they can't remember where their phone is or where they left their keys. Maybe they can't remember what they had for breakfast, but they can remember their long-term memory is fine. And this is something which really worries me to a degree because it's a sign our brain isn't working effectively. Neurologically, we have potential inflammation going on there. And if we leave it, it just gets worse and worse and worse. And actually improving it from then gets harder and harder and harder. So we say we're not going to deal with these things and we leave it until our body breaks. Believe me, I've been in that point of burning out, of severely overtraining, severely being overly stressed. Now, there are other things that happen if we are on the route to burnout. Maybe you're one of these people that wants to constantly drop weight. So you're consistently putting your body into a caloric deficit. You're consistently pushing your training, but you just cannot get your body to let go of that weight. I put a post out this morning and it was talking about a client that used to do so much training and she had been following some macro plan, following specific calories, hitting her protein targets before she started working with me. And I've got her to stop her actual workouts because workouts are a portion of stress. And we also have these other stresses that come on. She's running a 7 and 8 figure business. Now, there's a lot of stress with her team that she has to make sure that things are implemented right. And pushing these 5 hard workouts every single week is not optimal for her. She's also got the history of stress that she's been through with different relationships. Then we also go on to the fact that she lives in the city. Now, there's a lot of pollution in the city. She grew up in the city. We have to look at air quality. And I say she lives in the city. She lived in the city and then she moved to the countryside. So there's a lot of air pollution that comes along with this. So we don't look at the stresses inside of things. Apologies for my dog making noise there. We don't look at the stresses as such as we are here and now as to our stress, but the things that we've been through. So there's physical stress that we're putting our body through, the late nights, the launches that we go through as business owners, the hard workouts, the constantly just depriving ourselves of sleep and fueling these cracks and plastering these cracks with caffeine or stimulants or nootropics because we have an upper and a downer. These false energy borrowing for tomorrow to fuel today. Then we have the emotional stress, the stresses of running our businesses, of making sure everyone's paid on time, making sure that our team is actually working effectively, making sure our quality control in our business is good. And we have these stresses along with the emotional stresses of relationships, of making sure our kids are okay, our pets are okay, our mums, our dads, our families, our friends are all okay. All emotional. But then we have environmental stress, which people really, really neglect a lot of the time. Now, I live in a city in a place called Norwich, which isn't a big city. It's a very small city. And we are in a county called Norfolk, which is one of the most prominent farming counties in the UK. Now, you would think in the countryside, we have good air quality. But I believe in the top 10 of poor air quality, Norwich was like number 6 or 7 in the UK of cities with bad air quality. Because it's not just the diesel fumes that you get in like your Londons, your Manchesters, your New Yorks, your LAs, your Houston and places like this. But it's also the pesticides, the chemicals that are put on foods that then get into the air and they make a lot of difference. But not only that, a lot of people forget about the air quality in their homes, not having enough air circulating throughout the day, having mold in their home, all these things which make a massive, massive difference to our health. And as a result, stop our body from getting rid of toxins. So we don't go through detoxification as effectively. So we have inflammation on our body and in our body, and then our blood flow isn't as good. And then we get these cold hands and feet that we spoke about. Other signs that constantly getting migraines, constantly getting headaches, constantly getting sick for no specific reason, not just like even that sickness that, oh, I get my 1 or 2 colds a year. That's common. That is not normal. The body is under stress. And especially when it goes from summer to autumn to winter, we have people say this is the cold and flu season. But if we look at lowered sunlight exposure, lowered social gatherings, lowered actually getting outside in the fresh air, closing of windows, fake heat. Well, it's not fake heat. Heat is heat, but heat coming from radiators, from different things around the house. There's a lot more toxins around the world or around our house and around our body that gets into the system. Randomly getting bloated is one sign that something is not right within your body. Then we have cravings, constantly getting cravings because you are stressed. They're signs that your body is not working optimally. And if we don't deal with this, you could be on the course to burning out. Then we have things like irritability, that you're constantly flipping at those people nearest to you, the people that you love, that have supported you. Now you're actually taking these things out on them because you just have not got the tolerance for it anymore. One of the hardest ones, especially when you're in a relationship, that I speak to people about is their sex drive dropping. That they're just not as up for it as they would have been with their partners. And this can lead to all sorts of things going on in relationships that we don't need to talk about. But burning out is something which is very common. And again, that's not normal. And we have different stages of burnout. But if you are having these signs, they are showing that your body is under a stress tolerance that it cannot cope with for a long, long period of time. And that's where we need to actually talk further. Or maybe you want to go and do some research and actually look at burning out and how to help your adrenals, how to help your body deal with this stress, how to help your environment. If you want to talk further with me, maybe it's a case that you want to go for one-to-one coaching, or maybe you want to just take my health questionnaire and I can tell you that I can help you. Let's get on a virtual coffee call and let's actually have a chat through your health. I'll tell you how I can help you, and we talk about one-to-one coaching. But if you don't want to go down that route at the moment, have a look at www.ojayhealth.com/burnout. Now, that is a free presentation called Is This Burnout? It's about 25-30 minutes, and I'll go through all the symptoms of burning out and some of the things that you can do about it, and you'll be able to implement them. And if you want a little bit more depth, but again, you don't want to go for one-to-one coaching, I have a 21-day brain fog blitz course. That is at www.ojayhealth.com/brain fog blitz. Now, we're going to go through in depth of nutrition, of getting your routine right in the morning, getting your routine right through the day and in the evening, how to optimize your sleep, how to optimize your digestion, how to make sure you're not working out too much, what foods to add in, what foods to take out, how we can really look at stimulants on the body, what alcohol does to the body, and how we can allow ourselves to have those and have them not be an issue. Then there's some recipes in there, there's some guidelines, there's so many different things in this course that you can implement over 21 days and then redo it if you want to afterwards. So that's at www.ojayhealth.com/brain fog blitz. Hopefully, this has been helpful for you. If you're having cold hands and feet, if you're constantly getting cold hands and feet, other signs that your body is burning out, do something about it before it does something to you.